Gone Fishing with Bob and TJ is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Daiwa Rods and Reels, committed to total quality. Humminbird Wide, fish wide open. And Raider Fiberglass Truck Tops, today's value leader.
Hi, I'm Bob Kirkpatrick. Welcome to Gone Fishing. Well, when we left you last week, day one of the Vanity Walleye Cup in Nipawin, Saskatchewan was just over, and it's been a real exciting week. Just before the tournament, we had the new provincial record caught, fished just over 17 pounds. There's been some fantastic weights come in yesterday. Leading weight, Rick Spruik and Lori Taylor from Winnipeg, just over 35 pounds. So, I mean, anything can happen today. This system is full of monster fish. We're the last flight out. Day two is just about ready to go. TJ's getting his boat in off the ramp, and I've got to go pick up Corey. So we'll talk to you a little later, and stay tuned for some big fish action.
Hey, glad you could stay with us. On last week's show, you saw the exciting day one of the Vanity Cup in Nipawin, Saskatchewan. It's first thing in the morning here on day two. We've just launched our boats and we're getting ready to go fishing. We're in the fourth flight today, so a lot of the boats are out there already. Now, Jim Schute's going to be hosting the show today because Bob and I are really into this tournament and we want to do well. We both had pretty good days yesterday and we want to make sure we get out there in the money. The weather's incredible today and the fishing promises to be better than ever. I think you're going to see some huge, huge fish today. Stay with us. It's going to be really exciting.
Well, welcome to day two of the 1995 edition of the Vanity Cup. And the sun is shining on the Vanity Cup again this year. It's incredible. We're sitting at the 8th of October, and it's just a gorgeous day out here. Yesterday was a tremendous success. Everybody caught fish. There was 537 fish caught for a total of 2,668 pounds, averaging 4.99 pounds, which is just incredible for a slot tournament. Today we're looking for more of the same. The sun's out traditionally here. When the sun's shining, the fish bite again, and we got a whole bunch of happy fishermen here. It's absolutely incredible. We're off and running. The start went absolutely perfectly this morning, nice and organized. The boats went out smooth, and everybody's fishing hard again. Looks like we got a real nice fish on up here. Walter Hadley won the cadet tournament. And it looks like he's got something going on right now. They've been fighting this fish for a little while. That's a real nice fish. They're going to be happy with that. Here we have team number 14, Spruik and Taylor. You got to be really happy about being in first place after the first day, boys.
It's nice. It's better than, like you said last night, it's better than being down, in 100th, but...
Did you find it maybe puts a little more pressure on you today?
No, I think we'd fish just as hard whether we're in, really doesn't put any more pressure. You got to do the job.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a little slower, but we had a better afternoon bite yesterday anyway, so we're trying to keep calm about the fact that the morning's a little slow. We're doing all right.
Well, as you can see by the boats in here, it's obvious this is the hot spot today. We've seen some really nice big fish come out. Not a lot, but some. We've got two oversized fish in the live well. Corey's the hot stick today. We've culled up a couple of those. I think we've got about an 8 and a 5 in there and one small one. So again, we're looking for 2 more slot fish and try to upgrade those, but we've seen some huge fish caught. It seemed to slow down a little bit now. First thing this morning there was a little more action, and still fish coming out all the time, so it's hard to decide whether to move or not. The depth isn't really changing a lot. There are people fishing anywhere from 20 feet to 9, 10 feet deep, and everybody's catching fish. So I think the fish are coming out of the channel up onto the flats, and all this boat traffic's moving them around quite a bit. But they're really spooky. They're biting real light today, and a lot of times you won't even feel them pick up the line. If we're fishing a little bit different than we were yesterday. Instead of dragging our sinker on the bottom, we're holding it up a couple inches off the bottom, and every once in a while just let it down to make sure we're at the right depth. And you can see your line move when the fish picks it up instead of feeling it. So using these 8 and 10 foot snells makes quite a difference when the fish are biting as finicky as they are now. But you got to be watching all the time. You got to watch the line and pay attention all the time to get anything going right now.
I think something worth mentioning here is that this whole tournament, any proceeds that may be realized, go towards Nipawin Slow Pitch to build a new ballpark for the town of Nipawin, and which is why our large volunteer base. We have about 70 volunteers. There are all these Nipawin Slow Pitch players come out, and we will end up, if it keeps going like this, obviously we're going to show a profit this year. And 3 years from now, we will have a 4-diamond lighted ballpark and something that we could hold Canadian national playoffs on. And we're real happy about the amount of entries that we have this year. And hopefully we can keep this tournament going to get it all paid for. I see we have a fish on over behind us here. Beautiful hog. All right, good for you guys. How you doing, you guys?
Oh, that'll give us over 20 with this one.
And did you have a day yesterday?
29 yesterday.
29 yesterday. Good for you. You're in there. You're on the stage. You know it.
Day ain't over yet.
I know, and the day ain't over yet. You might
They
be
caught a million fish in here this morning.
Right on. Good. Well, keep up the good work. We're rooting for you.
Well, things are a little slower for us today. We're in the last flight today. There's 4 flights here, and we left an hour later than the first flight, and it sounded like the guys who got out early had a really, really good bite. Heard of some huge fish caught, including a 34-incher, so they hadn't put a scale on it yet, but it sounds like a really big fish. Lots of 10s, 12s. Our biggest fish right now is about 4 pounds, and we've only got one other one to go with it. The bites really slowed down. Seemed like the current came up a little earlier today than yesterday, and these fish are really in tune with current. And I think that was part of it. That's why they went earlier. Yesterday we never really got into the fish till about 8 o'clock or 8:30, so we weren't too concerned coming out later today. But when that current came up, the fish really turned on, bit really hard for an hour or so, and of course that was the hour we were waiting to go. But there's lots of the day left yet. It's still before noon. We got a few other spots to try. There was a couple spots turned on yesterday afternoon, so we're going to try those. Basically we're doing the same thing. We're just running live bait rigs in the current. We're trying to slow our drift down a little. The current's a lot stronger today. So we're just using our bow mount electric here into the current and just slowing our drift downstream. We're not going upstream, but we're slowing it considerably. So hopefully giving those fish a little more time to look at it and to bite it.
We're catching fish now. We got 4 in the live well. We got one over 12. We got one about 7. And a couple of good slots. So one more fish and we should be sitting pretty.
And you had a decent day yesterday?
Yeah, 27.25 pounds yesterday.
Good for you.
And again, he caught the big fish.
He's a good first mate.
He's a hell of a captain.
Yeah, that's right.
See you guys later.
Okay, see you later. I want to touch a little bit on the role that fisheries have played in working with the tournaments. We work with them, they work with us. It's not happening this year, but formerly to this, like last year, they monitored all the tournaments in the province, I believe, where they'd actually study and pen these fish and make sure that these tournaments are not killing fish. The results of that, of course, were wonderful. By example, 1% the Vanity died last year, which is next to nothing. On the first day here, this year, 537 fish caught, and only 5 fish died. It's a wonderful record to have. Fisheries in monitoring actually caged a number of the fish and monitored them for an extra 5 days to make sure that they weren't suffering and dying later, and they weren't. They were healthy. It's real good. We're glad that Fisheries did that, because it gives our tournaments a better name when they know that it isn't the tournaments that are killing fish. We're real happy about that.
Sponsors play a major role in the success of tournaments like the Vanity Cup. Bob took a moment to speak with one of them.
TJ and I are very proud to have Ranger Boats as a sponsor this year, and the Vanity Cup has also picked up Ranger as a major sponsor. I have Andrew Klopak with me, who's with Ranger Boats. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about the second prize here at the Vanity Cup?
Well, first of all, Bob, we're really excited to be part of the Vanity Cup tournament. It's obviously the premier tournament to be associated with in North America, such big prize money, and second prize being a 681 fisherman is quite attractive for a lot of anglers to compete for. So it's exciting to be part of, and we're happy to be here.
For years, Ranger Boats have been known as the #1 bass boats, but now with the new Fisherman Series, they've opened up a whole new area for the multi-species angler.
No, that's correct for sure, and I think what Ranger has done, Bob, is brought some of their features that they've been so successful with in the bass industry, such as the setback transoms, their live well systems, and they've incorporated this into a much deeper boat to go out in the big waters, and where you're not fishing up on a casting deck all day casting. So they've taken some of that technology and ideas from the bass boats and brought it into the multi-species, and we've seen some incredible growth in this market, and we're really pleased with that.
15.75. Woo! In here, guys? Yeah.
While Tobin Lake has a reputation for producing huge walleye, the 15.75-pound giant caught by Tim Jenny truly is exceptional.
We're having a good day. I've had big fish yesterday, had big fish this morning. Finally, Tim, he got a big fish, 15.75. So we're pretty happy right now. I think we got better weight than we did yesterday, so maybe it's about time some things went our way.
What'd you have for weight yesterday?
27.25 yesterday, and today I'm sure we're above that, that's for sure. Just a great day for fishing today, so I can't complain about nothing, that's for sure.
What was the look on your partner's face when he caught that one?
Well, he actually screamed. He screamed. He said it was the biggest fish he had when he was pulling the fish. I'm the one that's calm and collective, and I have to calm him down. So calmed him down, got him in the boat, and I had to wrestle him down from screaming, for God's sake. But he was pretty happy, and he yelled out a scream. I'm surprised you didn't hear it here.
All I can say is that's the biggest fish of my life. 15.75, and I'll tell you, we got one 12 or 13 in the well. We're going to come back and win this thing.
We got about 2 hours left on day 2 here at the Vanity Cup, and we definitely caught some more fish. We got into a pretty good bite here. We picked half a dozen up in the last little while. A couple of 7s, nothing real big. I don't know, we're sitting with probably about 17 pounds. Not enough yet, but it feels a lot better. We, like I say, they really turned on for a bit, and we're just hoping to pick up a few more. Maybe once the other flights have to start going in and the pressure gets off a bit here too, we will start catching some more fish. We'll talk to you later, let you know what happens.
Oh yeah!
Oh, yeah!
Right.
Woo! That's a big fish.
I think we were looking for that one.
Just under 11 pounds, 10.9. Well, that makes our day a lot better. We had our 5 fish, culled up a few slot fish, and figured we had 22, 23 pounds, and that just added another 5.5 pounds. So we're sitting okay for today. We've got an 8-pounder in there. We'd like to move up with another one like that and maybe upgrade a few of those slots. We've still got a little over 2 hours left, and the big fish are here. Let's get at it. Our day didn't change a lot since we talked to you last. We did manage to catch a few more fish, but nothing that we could cull up and improve our weight any. We think, what did you figure it out, Corey? What do you think we got for weight?
29 pounds.
29, now if our scales are right, and if Corey added right, 29 pounds and another, 20, just over 20 pounds yesterday will be just under 60 pounds, or 50 pounds. Now, there's a lot of big fish being caught in this tournament. I don't know if that's going to make any money or not.
Our day picked up considerably. About noon, we only had 6 pounds in the live well. Things were looking pretty grim. Yesterday, we didn't catch any fish after about 10:30, and we were pretty worried that's all we were going to come in with. But Dennis suggested we move up the river to a spot that we'd pre-fished and caught a decent fish out of, so we moved up, and Dennis kind of put on a clinic for the people there. He caught some really nice fish, including one. We don't know how big it is. It's definitely over 12 pounds. Just a beautiful, beautiful fish. Got some good ones to go with it, and shows the importance of a really good partner. I had a really good day yesterday, and Dennis had a great day today, so you can't get down on yourself. Things turn around. You just got to have confidence. And the same thing, we had to have confidence going into today. And if we didn't catch our fish earlier, we had to have confidence to move somewhere else and know that we could catch them or we'd be out of it. Probably sitting with about 27 pounds, which should give us a check, I hope. There's a lot of big weights come in. I heard of a 15.75 pound walleye today, just a massive fish. A lot of other good fish in that 12, 13 pound range, but I think we're sitting pretty good. I'm pretty confident we'll at least take home a check. We'll see you at the Evergreen Center for the awards.
With 48.65 pounds, TJ Schwanke and Dennis Walters.
Well, you did it again, Jim. This has been a fabulous tournament. One thing about this tournament, you don't bog it down with rules and a whole bunch of stupid things. It's the walleye out there who decide who wins, and that's really great. I've got my room booked already for next year. We'll be here. I want to thank a couple people. Ranger Boats, Mercury Outboards, you guys were super to us this year, and thanks a lot. I want to thank my partner. This guy put all the fish in the well today. He had a super, super day and really made a big difference. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah.
These guys are as responsible as any of us for spreading the word about the Vanity and getting it out there and telling people to come to the Vanity. I do appreciate them, along with TJ Schwanke, Bob Kirkpatrick, and Corey Yeoman.
Thank you, Jim. It's been real fun. I'm glad Jim asked us to, a couple years ago, to help him organize or get some of the ideas going for this tournament. And it's great to see everybody out here. What a fantastic fishery. I'd like to thank some of my sponsors who are also sponsors of the Vanity, Ranger Boats, Merc Motors, and John Peterson from Northlands Tackles here. Thank you for all your support over the years, John. We had a great day today, and I'm going to turn this over to the guy that caught all the fish.
Oh, thanks. No, Bob did well yesterday, too. Jim mentioned that we try to help promote the tournament, and definitely who would not want to help to promote this? You've got a great fishery here. There's lots of fish out there. There's some phenomenal sized fish, and it's fantastic. I hope the people of the town here, it was such a fun tournament. It's fun to be around the people, and I hope you protect the fishery and make it last. Thanks, Jim.
Rounding out the top three at the 1995 Vanity Cup, we're in third place, John Peterson and Rob Manley. In second place, Rick Spruik and Lori Taylor. And taking home the $50,000 first prize, Tim Jenny and Dan Belinsky.
One of our sponsors from the United States is here and managed to do very well. John Peterson from Northland Tackle, fishing with local fisherman Rob Manley. And you guys did fantastic. Third place finish, and you said you caught some of the biggest fish you've ever caught in your life.
We had an incredible tournament. I fished all over the U.S. and the fishing I had here the last 2 days, fishing with Rob, has been the best I've ever had in my whole life, without a doubt. And I guess the fish are here. We had to figure out a way to catch those fish. And what we found is that the leeches that we were able to get here in Saskatchewan were fairly small. So what we ended up doing was putting 2 and actually 3 leeches on our fire eye attractor hooks. They're painted hooks, and in this water, in the Saskatchewan River here, we with just little enough flash and color and action to trigger those big fish. It was a technique that I really developed on other waters in the U.S., colored stain type water, live action of live bait, color, flash, creates big fish.
The 1995 Vanity Cup champions, $50,000. Richard, how does it feel?
Whew. Feels real good.
It's a lot of money, one of the biggest prizes in North America. Maybe just tell us a little bit about how you did it and how it feels.
What we seem to key on, me and Danny decided right off the bat that the current played a big factor in our fish and where they'd structure, the structure where they'd set up on the structure. And when the current picked up, we changed weight sizes on our long-snelled live bait rigs, and basically, I think, Dan, that was the ticket. Today, our big fish was the 15.75, which is 15 pounds, 12 ounces for a walleye, 34 inches long, probably had a girth of 22 inches. I mean, it looked like a big lake trout. And this fishery is just unbelievable. There's a lot of big fish, and they better look after it, put some real controls on it, and I know they're really picking it up now with the watching and the monitoring. It's excellent. If you want to catch a big fish, come here, man.
They've just got to do something. I mean, if you want a big fish, a wall hanger, anything over 10 pounds, this is the place to do it. And there's just really no other place, because you come out here for a week or something, your chances are just great to get that size of a fish. And to release them, that's the most beautiful part. I think we had on film that Tim even gave that fish a kiss. And to catch that fish is an ultimate.
Yeah.
And it's just a great fishery, and hopefully they do have some type of rules or do something to save this fishery, because there's just nothing else like it around.
TJ, another fantastic tournament in Nipawin, and the amount of big fish here, unreal. As several of the other guys mentioned when they're up here on stage, this may be the best walleye fishery in the world right now.
Well, isn't that the truth? The neat thing about this was the Canadian anglers did really, really well. There's a lot of big-name Americans up here, and the Canadian anglers held their own against them, so that's really good to see. We've come a long ways over the year. We'd really like to thank Jim Shute for helping us co-host the show, and he's been just a gracious host at the Kingfisher, and if you're ever up in Nipawin, make sure you stop in there.
Make sure you join us next time on Gone Fishing.
Gone Fishing with Bob and TJ is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Daiwa Rods and Reels, committed to total quality. Humminbird Wide, fish wide open. And Raider Fiberglass Truck Tops, today's value leader. Cast and crew of Gone Fishing with Bob and TJ stayed at the Kingfisher Inn.